Princess Kalara of the mighty Xeraxian Empire stared out at the stars from her royal chambers, wondering about her fate. The High Council had decided she must marry to secure an alliance with a newly discovered species called humans. Kalara had light, purple skin that shimmered when she moved, long silver hair that floated around her as if underwater, and eyes that changed color with her emotions. Currently, they were a deep blue of sadness and worry. The princess had never wanted a political marriage. She dreamed of exploring the universe, commanding her own starship and making scientific discoveries. But as the only daughter of Emperor Zorath, she had responsibilities to her people. The Xeraxian Empire spanned 3 galaxies and was known for their advanced technology and powerful warships. Their society valued knowledge and exploration above all else, yet they faced a new threat. The Dravek Horde, a violent race that destroyed everything in their path, was moving towards Xeraxian space. "Need allies," Father Kalara said as Emperor Zorath entered her chambers. But must it be through marriage? The Emperor was tall, even for a Xeraxian, with deep purple skin and silver markings across his face, showing his royal lineage. His eyes currently glowed yellow with determination. "The humans have shown remarkable adaptability and courage," he replied. "They lack our technology but possess creativity and resourcefulness we have not seen in other species. Our scientists believe combining our strengths would benefit both races, and I must be the bridge." Kalara sighed. "You are my heir," Zorath said, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "The one who will lead our people after me. This alliance must be strong and lasting across the galaxy on Earth." Navy. Lieutenant Olivia Mason received strange orders. She was to travel to the diplomatic space station Alpha, where representatives from Earth would meet with the alien Xeraxians. Olivia had been specifically requested, though no one could tell her why. Olivia was tall, with dark skin, short curly hair, and a confident stride that spoke of her years of military training. She specialized in xenobiology, the study of alien life forms. Her colleagues teased her about her new assignment. "Maybe you're being abducted for alien experiments," joked her friend Kate as they shared drinks at the base lounge. "Or maybe they're looking for the perfect human specimen," laughed her roommate Stephanie. Olivia rolled her eyes but packed her bags. The journey to Space Station Alpha took 3 weeks. During that time, she studied everything known about the Xeraxians, which wasn't much. They were an advanced species with technology far beyond human capabilities. They had contacted Earth, offering trade and alliance. What bothered Olivia was why they had asked for her specifically. She was a good officer with an excellent record, but nothing special. Not an admiral or diplomat, just a lieutenant with a specialty in alien biology. The transport ship docked at Space Station Alpha, and Olivia got her first view of the massive structure. It was unlike anything humans had built. A gleaming silver ring rotating slowly in space with spires and domes that seemed to defy physics. A young officer named Amy greeted her Lieutenant Mason. "Welcome to Alpha. I have orders to escort you directly to the diplomatic section. The Xeraxian delegation is waiting for me," specifically asked Olivia. "Yes, Mom." Amy looked uncomfortable. "The details are classified." "I'm afraid." Olivia followed Amy through the station. The hallways were filled with humans and aliens of various species working together. She had never seen so many different life forms in one place. On screens throughout the station, news reports talked about the Xeraxian alliance and how it could help Earth defend against the approaching Dravek threat. Meanwhile, back in her chambers, Princess Kalara prepared for her first meeting with the human chosen as her potential mate. She wore traditional royal garments, a flowing silver dress that complemented her purple skin, and a simple crown that marked her as heir to the empire. "My daughter, are you ready?" asked Emperor Zorath. "No," Kalara answered honestly, "but I will do my duty." The Emperor nodded proudly. "You have always put our people first. It is why you will make a great empress someday." Zorath left and Kalara returned to the window, gazing at the stars. What would this human be like? Would they be kind, intelligent, understanding? Or would they see her as nothing more than a strange alien, a means to get Xeraxian technology? Kalara had studied humans, secretly fascinated by their short but intense lives. They lived barely 2 centuries compared to the 1,000-year lifespan of Xeraxians, yet they accomplished so much. In that time, their art, music, literature all spoke of passion and depth that sometimes seemed missing from her own logical, rational people. A soft chime indicated it was time. Kalara took a deep breath and headed to the diplomatic chamber. Her guards flanked her as she walked the hallways of the space station. Aliens and humans alike bowed as she passed. When Olivia arrived at the conference room, she was immediately escorted to a large chamber filled with human diplomats and tall purple-skinned aliens with flowing silver hair, the Xeraxians. An older male with elaborate clothing approached her. "I am Emperor Zorath," he said through a translation device. "We have studied your species for some time. Lieutenant Mason, you have been chosen. For what exactly?" asked Olivia, trying to keep her voice steady. "To marry my daughter, Princess Kalara, and secure the alliance between our worlds." The room fell silent. Olivia blinked several times, processing the Emperor's words. This had to be a mistake. They couldn't possibly expect her to marry an alien princess she had never met. "Is this some kind of joke?" she finally managed to say. The Emperor looked confused. "The Xeraxians do not joke about royal marriages." Ambassador Taylor, a human diplomat, stepped forward. "Lieutenant, this is unexpected, but the alliance with the Xeraxians would give humanity access to technology that could solve our energy crisis, cure diseases, and advance our space exploration by centuries. But marriage..." Olivia shook her head. "This is crazy." Before anyone could respond, the doors opened and Princess Kalara entered. The room seemed to brighten with her presence. Her eyes, currently a curious green, examined Olivia intensely. "So this is my human mate," she said, her voice melodic. Even through the translator protocol dictated that Olivia should bow, but she stood her ground. "I haven't agreed to anything yet, Your Highness." The princess smiled, revealing teeth that looked like small pearls. "I like her father. She has spirit, Emperor." Zorath nodded. "You have 1 Earth week to become acquainted. If both parties agree, the ceremony will proceed." Olivia and Kalara stared at each other across the room, each wondering what the stars had in store for them. The next morning, Olivia paced in her quarters, trying to make sense of everything that had happened. She had been ordered to consider marrying an alien princess. A beautiful alien princess, her mind corrected. But still, this was beyond anything she had trained for. A chime at her door interrupted her thoughts. It was Ambassador Taylor. "Lieutenant, may I come in?" she asked. Olivia nodded, and the older woman entered. She had gray hair and kind eyes that had seen many diplomatic missions. "I know this is overwhelming," Taylor said. "But the Xeraxians specifically requested you. We ran your profile through their compatibility matrix, and you matched with Princess Kalara at 98%. The next highest human match was only 64%. Compatibility. For what exactly? Olivia asked. For genetic and neurological harmony, Taylor explained. The Xeraxians believe in matches based on science, not just political convenience. Their species has empathic abilities. They can sense and share emotions through touch with compatible beings, and they think incompatible with their princess. Yes, the ambassador smiled. Though I must say the princess seemed quite taken with you even without touch. Olivia sighed. I have to at least try to get to know her, don't I? Taylor nodded. The fate of 2 species might depend on it, but she added more gently, no one can force you to marry Olivia, even for Earth. A few hours later, Olivia met Princess Kalara in the station's garden. A beautiful space filled with plants from dozens of worlds. The princess wore simpler clothes today, a flowing purple tunic and pants that allowed easier movement. Her silver hair was braided down her back. Thank you for coming, Lieutenant, the princess said. Her eyes were amber today, showing curiosity. You can call me Olivia. Your Highness, then you must call me Kalara. The princess gestured to a bench surrounded by blue flowers from Earth. Let us sit and talk. I have many questions about your world. As they sat, Olivia noticed how gracefully the alien princess moved, almost as if gravity affected her differently. What do you wish to know about Earth? Olivia asked. Everything. Kalara smiled. But perhaps we should start with you. Why did you join your military? Olivia hadn't expected such a personal question. I wanted to explore to see things no one from Earth had seen before. My parents were both scientists. My mother studied ocean life and my father the stars. I guess I wanted a bit of both. Worlds? Fascinating. Kalara leaned closer. Your desire to explore matches my own, though my royal duties have kept me from pursuing it fully. Over the next few hours, they talked about their lives. Olivia learned that Xeraxian royalty were expected to master both science and politics. Kalara had degrees in what humans would call astrophysics and molecular biology. She was over 100 Earth years old, though considered young for her species. When Kalara spoke about the stars, her eyes changed to a bright silver color. Olivia found herself mesmerized by how the princess's emotions were so visible, so honest. You are staring, Lieutenant Kalara said with amusement. Sorry, Olivia blushed. It's just your eyes. They change with your feelings. Yes, Kalara nodded. It is how my people communicate emotion. We cannot hide our feelings as humans do. Is that uncomfortable for you? Actually, it's refreshing, Olivia admitted. Humans spend a lot of time trying to figure out what others are really feeling. They continued their tour of the station, stopping at the observation deck. The vast expanse of space spread before them, stars and nebulae painting the darkness. It is beautiful, is it not? Kalara said softly. The universe so vast, yet we find ourselves here together. Two beings from different worlds. Olivia turned to look at the princess silhouetted against the stars. Yes, beautiful, she agreed, though she wasn't looking at the stars anymore. May I show you something? Kalara asked, holding out her hand. The touch of a Xeraxian can share feelings. It is how we truly know one another. Olivia hesitated, then nodded, taking the princess's hand. The sensation was immediate and overwhelming. A warm tingling spread from her hand through her entire body. Suddenly she could feel what Kalara was feeling. Curiosity, wonder, a touch of nervousness, and something deeper, something like attraction. But more than that, she felt the princess's love of science, her sense of duty to her people, her loneliness as royalty. When they finally broke contact, Olivia gasped. That was intense. Kalara finished, her eyes now a deep purple. This is why our scientists believed we would be compatible. The connection is stronger than I've experienced with any other species. Back in her quarters that night, Olivia couldn't sleep. Her mind kept returning to the connection she'd felt with Kalara. It was unlike anything she'd ever experienced with another human. So direct, so honest, so complete. The next day they met in the science lab. Kalara wore a lab coat over her royal clothes and looked completely at home among the equipment. I thought we might work together today, the princess said. My research on stellar formation combined with your biological expertise might yield interesting results. They spent the day running experiments, discussing theories, and finding common ground in their love of science. Olivia was impressed by Kalara's intelligence and creative approaches to problems. You think differently than Xeraxian scientists, Kalara observed as they examined results. The way you make intuitive leaps, it's refreshing. Your methodical approach isn't bad either, Olivia smiled. It's helping me see patterns I might have missed. Without thinking, Olivia reached out and touched Kalara's hand again. The connection formed immediately, but gentler this time. They shared their excitement about the discovery they'd made together, the joy of scientific breakthrough. When the connection ended, they stood close together. Kalara's eyes had turned a deep gold color Olivia had not seen before. What does that color mean? She asked softly. It means, Kalara whispered, I am feeling things I should not for someone I barely know. Olivia swallowed. Is that a bad thing? Not bad, Kalara shook her head. Just unexpected. I was prepared to do my duty to marry for my empire. I was not prepared to actually want it. That evening they had dinner together in Kalara's private dining room. Xeraxian food was surprisingly compatible with human biology. Though the flavors were unlike anything Olivia had tasted before, Tell me about the Drivek, Olivia said as they ate. Why do both our peoples fear them so much? Kalara's eyes darkened to a stormy gray. They consume all in their path, not just resources, but entire civilizations. They absorb knowledge and technology, leaving nothing behind. They have destroyed 12 known spacefaring species in the last century, and they're heading toward both Earth and Zeraxian space. Yes, Kalara nodded. Our alliance would create a defensive line they could not easily break. Your soldiers' adaptability, with our technology, would be formidable. So this marriage, Olivia gestured between them, is truly about survival. Not just survival. Kalara reached across the table, her fingers stopping just short of Olivia's. It's about thriving together, creating something greater than either of our species could alone. Their eyes met across the table. Understanding passed between them without the need for empathic touch. They were two beings from different worlds facing the same threat, hoping for the same future. Olivia returned to her quarters that night. She realized with surprise that she was actually considering this marriage, not just for duty or Earth, but because in just 2 days, she had begun to care for the alien princess, with color-changing eyes and a brilliant mind. On the 3rd day, Kalara took Olivia to a special chamber in the Zeraxian section of the station. The room was circular with walls that seemed to shimmer and change like the surface of water. This is our memory hall, the princess explained. Each Zeraxian royal family has one. It allows us to share our history, our knowledge with those we trust. Olivia looked around in wonder. How does it work? Instead of answering, Kalara touched a panel on the wall. The room darkened, then filled with stars. A perfect recreation of space surrounded them. This is my homeworld, Kalara said as a beautiful planet appeared before them. Purple oceans and silver continents with sprawling cities that seem to grow from the land itself, rather than being built upon it. It's amazing, Olivia whispered, reaching out as if to touch the hologram more than a hologram. Kalara smiled. These are my memories. My experiences. The scene changed to show a young Kalara studying in a grand library, then training with weapons, then standing beside her father as they greeted other alien species. I've never seen technology like this, Olivia said. The princess moved closer. Would you share your memories with me? Your world. Olivia hesitated, then nodded. How do I take my hands? Kalara held out both hands. When their fingers intertwined, the room transformed again. This time showing Earth, Olivia's childhood home. Her parents, her training at the academy, her first space mission. They spent hours sharing memories, laughing at childhood mishaps, marveling at the differences and similarities in their upbringing. You were a stubborn child, Kalara teased as they watched young Olivia refusing to leave a tide pool until she'd identified every creature in it. And you were surprisingly mischievous for a princess, Olivia countered after seeing Kalara slip away from her royal guards to explore a forbidden section of the palace. When they finally left the memory hall, both felt they had known each other for years, not days. That evening they had dinner with Emperor Zorath and the human diplomatic team. Ambassador Taylor smiled, seeing Olivia and Kalara deep in conversation, barely noticing the political discussion around them. The Emperor watched his daughter closely, noting her eyes had rarely left the golden happiness color since she began spending time with the human. The next morning, Olivia received a message from Earth High Command. They were concerned about her unusual situation, but encouraged her to continue building a relationship with the princess if she felt comfortable. Their message was clear. This alliance could change humanity's future. Kalara was waiting for Olivia in the training room. She wore fitted combat gear that accentuated her athletic form. I thought we might try something different. Today, she said, I would like to learn human fighting styles and perhaps teach you Zeraxian defense methods. Olivia grinned. I was a combat instructor for 2 years. Challenge accepted. They began slowly learning each other's movements. Zeraxian fighting style was fluid like water, using an opponent's strength against them. Human techniques were more direct, more adaptable to changing situations. As they sparred, they moved in closer. Olivia attempted to flip Kalara, but the princess countered, sending them both tumbling to the mat. They landed with Olivia on top, their faces inches apart. Your technique needs work. Kalara teased, her eyes a bright, playful gold ore. Maybe this was my plan all along, Olivia replied without thinking. The princess raised an eyebrow. Was it? Olivia blushed, realizing their position, but didn't move away. The attraction between them had been building with each passing day, each conversation, each shared memory, each touch. May I kiss you? Olivia asked softly. Xeraxians do not kiss, the princess whispered. But I've always been curious about the practice. Olivia leaned down slowly, giving Kalara time to pull away. She didn't. Their lips met gently at first, then with increasing passion. The empathic connection formed instantly, stronger than before. Emotions flowed between them. Desire, affection, hope, fear. 1,000 feelings impossible to name. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing heavily. Kalara's skin was glowing brightly, her eyes a deep gold. Olivia had never seen. He understand why humans enjoy that practice. The princess said, her voice slightly shaky. Olivia laughed. We should definitely study it more. Thoroughly. For science, of course. For science. Kalara agreed, pulling Olivia down for another kiss. That afternoon, they walked together through the diplomatic section of the station, holding hands, ignoring the surprised looks from both humans and aliens. Ambassador Taylor intercepted them. Lieutenant Mason, may I speak with you, privately? Kalara squeezed Olivia's hand before releasing it. I will see you for dinner, she said, her eyes still that deep gold color, once the princess was gone. Taylor turned to Olivia. You seem to be getting along well with Princess Kalara. Olivia couldn't help her smile. Yes, we are. The ambassador looked concerned. This was supposed to be a political arrangement, Lieutenant. Are you developing real feelings for her? Would that be a problem? Olivia asked. Taylor sighed. It complicates things. Personal feelings can cloud judgment, but she added with a small smile, it might also strengthen the alliance in ways we hadn't anticipated. That evening, Olivia and Kalara had dinner in a private observation lounge. The stars provided their only light, casting a soft glow over them. Tomorrow will be our 5th day together, Kalara said softly. The day after you must give your answer to the Emperor. Olivia reached across the table, taking the princess's hand. What will happen if I say yes? We will be joined in marriage, according to both our customs, Kalara explained. You would become royal consort to the heir of the Xeraxian Empire. You would have duties, responsibilities. And if I say no, another match would be sought, though none rated as highly as you. The alliance would continue, but perhaps not. As strongly, Olivia traced patterns on Kalara's purple skin. What do you want? She asked, looking directly into the princess's eyes. Kalara's eyes shifted through several colors before settling on that deep gold. I want you, Olivia Mason. I have never met anyone like you in all my travels through the stars. I was prepared to marry for duty. I was not prepared to find someone who makes my hearts beat faster, who challenges my mind, who makes me laugh. You have 2 hearts, Olivia asked, surprised. The princess laughed. Yes. Is that a problem? Just another fascinating thing to learn about you. Olivia smiled. She took a deep breath, listening to her own single heart. It's funny. I came here expecting some boring diplomatic mission. Instead, I found you a purple-skinned alien princess with color-changing eyes and 2 hearts. And somehow in less than a week you've become the most important person in my universe. Is that a yes? Kalara asked, her skin beginning to glow with hope. Olivia stood, walked around the table and knelt beside the princess. I need to do this properly, she said, taking Kalara's hands. Princess Kalara of the Xeraxian Empire, will you marry me? Not for politics or alliances, but because I think I'm falling in love with you. Tears like liquid. Silver ran down the princess's purple cheeks. Yes, she whispered. Yes to all of it. Their kiss sealed the promise as the stars witnessed their union, a human and an alien finding love across the vastness of space. The next morning they approached Emperor Zorath together, hands clasped. Father, Kalara said formally, I have made my decision. I wish to marry Lieutenant Olivia Mason of Earth. Not just for our empire, but for myself. The Emperor studied them, his eyes shifting through several colors before settling. On a satisfied blue, I see the connection between you. It is stronger than our scientist predicted. This bodes well for our alliance. He turned to Olivia. And you, Lieutenant, do you accept this union with all it entails? Olivia stood tall. I do, Your Majesty. I accept Kalara as my wife and all the responsibilities that come with being her consort. Very well, Zorath nodded. The ceremony will take place in 2 days' time. I will inform the High Council and Earth authorities. As they left the Emperor's chambers, Kalara pulled Olivia into a side corridor. Are you certain? She asked, her eyes showing worry. This will change your life forever. You will be part alien, royalty, part diplomat, part scientist. Olivia touched Kalara's cheek, feeling the now familiar empathic connection. I'm certain. This feels right in a way nothing else ever has. The princess smiled, her worry fading, replaced by that deep gold of love. I never expected to find you, my human. But now that I have, I cannot imagine my life without you. Together, they walked toward their future, a bridge between worlds, a love that crossed the stars. News of the engagement spread quickly through the station and across both Earth and the Zoraxian Empire. Messages poured in from both worlds. Some celebrated the union, while others questioned it. A human marrying an alien princess. It was unprecedented. Olivia sat in her quarters. Reading reports from Earth news outlets were having a field day with the story. Lieutenant Olivia Mason, Navy, xenobiologist, becomes alien princess bride. Some portrayed her as a hero sacrificing for humanity. Others suggested she had been manipulated, or worse, a chime at her door interrupted her thoughts. She opened it to find Kate and Stephanie, her friends from Earth. They had arrived on the morning transport surprise. Kate shouted, hugging Olivia tightly. We weren't going to let you marry an alien princess without your best friends. There, Olivia laughed, tears in her eyes. How did you get clearance to come? Admiral Chen arranged it. Stephanie explained. She said, and I quote, someone needs to make sure Mason hasn't lost her mind. Have you lost your mind? Kate asked more seriously as they settled in Olivia's quarters. You barely know this princess. Olivia smiled, thinking of Kalara. It's hard to explain. The Zoraxians are empaths. When we touch, I can feel everything she's feeling. She can't lie to me, can't manipulate me. And what's more, I don't want to lie to her. It's the most honest relationship I've ever had. Kate and Stephanie exchanged looks. What does it feel like? Stephanie asked curiously. The empathic connection, like someone seeing all of you, the best and worst parts, and loving you anyway. Olivia tried to explain, like having another heart beating alongside yours. Well, said Kate, raising an imaginary glass. We came to rescue you, but it sounds like you've been captured, in the best possible way. The next morning, Olivia introduced her friends to Kalara. The princess was gracious, welcoming them warmly. Any friends of Olivia's are friends of the Zoraxian Empire. She set her eyes a friendly green. Kate leaned over to whisper to Olivia. She really is beautiful in an alien way. Kalara smiled, her hearing better than humans. I thank you for the compliment, Kate. I find human features equally fascinating. After breakfast, Kalara took them on a tour of the Zoraxian royal vessel that had docked overnight. It was enormous, at least 3 times the size of Earth's largest ship. The technology was decades, perhaps centuries beyond human capabilities. This is amazing. Stephanie breathed as they entered the engine room, where crystals, larger than a human, powered the massive ship. How do you control the quantum fluctuations? Kalara launched into a technical explanation that only Stephanie, with her engineering background, could follow. Olivia watched with pride as her future wife demonstrated her brilliant mind. Later that day, Emperor Zorath requested Olivia's presence. The human entered his chambers nervously. Lieutenant, the Emperor said, his eyes a calm blue. Please sit. As Olivia sat across from the imposing alien ruler, she fought to keep her composure. This was her future father-in-law, after all. You have made my daughter very happy, Zorath said. The color of her eyes when she speaks of you. It is rare among our people. Am glad, Your Majesty. Olivia replied, She makes me happy too. The Emperor nodded. Yet there are concerns. Some in the High Council worry about your short lifespan. Humans live barely 2 centuries, while Xeraxians can live 1,000 years. They fear Kalara will face heartbreak. Olivia hadn't considered this. The thought of Kalara living centuries after her death made her chest tighten. I cannot offer a solution to that. Your Majesty, she said honestly, but I can promise to make every year we have together. Count Zorath studied her. I have something to show you, he said, standing. He led her to a laboratory where Xeraxian scientists worked. Olivia recognized some of the equipment from her xenobiology studies, but others were completely foreign. Our medical advances are considerable, the Emperor explained. We have developed treatments that can extend the lifespan of compatible species. Olivia stared at him. You mean it might be possible to extend your life not to Xeraxian lengths, but perhaps double or triple a human lifespan? The process would change you somewhat. Your body would incorporate some Xeraxian genetic material. Would I still be human? Olivia asked. Mostly, the Emperor said, you would be the first of your kind, a bridge between our species, just as this marriage is. Olivia thought about the implications. It was one thing to marry an alien princess. Another, to become partially alien herself. This is your choice, Zorath said. No pressure will be placed upon you. Kalara loves you as you are. Later that evening, Olivia told Kalara about the Emperor's offer. They sat in the memory hall surrounded by stars. I didn't know he would offer this, Kalara said, her eyes shifting between concern and hope. You must not feel obligated. Olivia took her hands. What would it mean for us? For our future. The princess smiled softly. It would mean more time, many more years together. Perhaps children of our own with the right genetic modifications. Children, Olivia hadn't even considered that possibility. It would be possible. Kalara confirmed. Our scientists have been working on compatibility methods for decades. Olivia pulled Kalara close. I need time to think about it. But the idea of more years with you, of children together, it's tempting. They held each other under the light of 1,000 stars, each contemplating a future neither had imagined before they met. The next day was filled with wedding preparations. Kate and Stephanie helped Olivia with her uniform, adding traditional Xeraxian symbols that Kalara had suggested. Meanwhile, Kalara prepared with her. Royal Attendants Ambassador Taylor visited Olivia as she dressed lieutenant. She said, I just received word from Earth High Command. The treatment Emperor Zorath offered has been approved by our scientists. They believe it could benefit humanity in the long run, especially if I'm the guinea pig. Olivia finished with a small smile. The ambassador nodded. Is it worth it? She asked. Olivia looked at her reflection. The uniform of Earth with symbols of Xeraxia, a perfect representation of her future. Life for her, Olivia said. Yes, it's worth it. As evening approached, guests gathered in the Great Hall. The room had been transformed with flowers from Earth and crystal formations from Xeraxia. Representatives from both worlds stood together, united by this historic union. Olivia waited nervously with Kate and Stephanie, both wearing their dress uniforms. Stop fidgeting, Kate whispered. You're about to marry a princess, not face a firing squad. Olivia laughed. Thank you both for being here. It means everything. Music began, a blend of Earth and Xeraxian melodies that somehow worked together beautifully. Olivia took her position, waiting for her bride. The doors opened and Princess Kalara entered. The room fell silent. She wore a gown that seemed made of liquid silver that flowed around her as she moved. Her purple skin glowed with happiness, her eyes the deepest gold Olivia had ever seen. As Kalara approached, Olivia forgot to breathe. She forgot the politics, the alliance, the differences between their species. All she saw was the woman she loved coming to join her life with hers. Emperor Zorath conducted the ceremony himself, speaking in both Xeraxian and English. Today we witness not just the union of two beings but of two worlds. He said, two species looking to the stars together rather than alone. Olivia and Kalara exchanged vows. They had written them together, combining traditions from both cultures. I, Olivia Mason, take you, Kalara, daughter of Zorath, to be my wife, my partner in science and exploration, my companion among the stars. I promise to stand beside you in peace and in war, to honor your traditions, while sharing my own, to love you, with one heart, as fully as you love me. With two, Kalara's voice was steady, though her eyes shimmered with emotion. I, Kalara, daughter of Zorath, heir to the Zoraxian Empire, take you, Olivia Mason of Earth, to be my mate, my consort, my equal. I vow to share my mind, my hearts, my soul with you, to create a bridge between our worlds that future generations may cross. Freely I promise that no distance in space or time will diminish my love for you. When they were pronounced married, the gathered crowd erupted in cheers. The alliance was sealed, not just by politics, but by love. The reception that followed was joyous. Humans and Zoraxians mingled, sharing food, music, and stories. Kate and Stephanie found themselves surrounded by curious Zoraxian scientists, eager to learn more about Earth. Olivia and Kalara hardly noticed the celebration, too caught up in each other. Tomorrow, Kalara whispered as they danced, I will show you my world, and soon I will visit yours. Olivia smiled, pulling her wife closer. Our worlds, she corrected, both ours now. As the celebration continued, news arrived. A Dravik scout ship had been detected at the edge of Zoraxian space. The threat that had brought them together was real and approaching, but tonight was for celebration. Tomorrow they would face whatever came together. Two species united by the love of a human woman and an alien princess. 6 months after the wedding, Olivia stood on the balcony of the royal palace on Zoraxia, watching 3 moons rise over the purple ocean. She had adjusted well to life on her new home world. The slightly stronger gravity, the longer days, the exotic foods had all become familiar. The medical treatments had begun changing her subtly. Her skin had a faint purple undertone now, and her senses were sharper. She could feel the emotions of others, not as strongly as a Zoraxian, but enough to sense truth. From lies, joy, from sorrow. Her expected lifespan had already doubled, according to the royal physicians. Kalara joined her on the balcony, wrapping her arms around Olivia's waist from behind. What are you thinking about, my love? She asked, her breath warm against Olivia's neck. Earth, Olivia admitted. We visit next week. I'm nervous about showing you my world. Kalara turned her wife to face her. Why nervous? Olivia sighed. Earth isn't as advanced as Zoraxia. Our cities aren't as grand, our technology not as impressive. The princess smiled, her eyes a warm gold. I am not marrying your planet, Olivia. I married you. I want to see the world that created the woman I love. The oceans your mother studied, the stars your father mapped, the academy where you trained. Olivia leaned forward, resting her forehead against Kalara's. The familiar empathic connection flowed between them, sharing love, reassurance, excitement. Their peaceful moment was interrupted by a royal messenger. Your Highnesses, the Emperor requests your presence in the war room. They hurried through the crystal hallways of the palace hand in hand. Since their marriage, they had become a powerful team. Olivia's human adaptability and tactical thinking complemented Kalara's scientific knowledge and diplomatic skills. The Emperor had appointed them joint leaders of the Dravik Defense Initiative. Emperor Zorath stood before a holographic display showing star systems and ship movements. His eyes were a focused yellow as he studied the tactical situation. My daughter-in-law, he greeted them. We have news: the joint Earth-Zoraxian fleet has engaged a Dravik scout force in the Century system. How did it go? Olivia asked. Studying the display, Zorath smiled. Our victory was complete. The combined tactics worked perfectly. Zoraxian shield technology with Earth-style maneuvers. The Dravik were not prepared for our cooperation. Kalara squeezed Olivia's hand. This is what we hoped for. The beginning of pushing them back. The Emperor nodded. But this was just a scout force. The main Dravik fleet still approaches. We must accelerate our preparations. Over the next week, they worked tirelessly. Olivia coordinating with Earth forces, Kalara overseeing the implementation of new weapon systems based on combined research. They had little time together, save for late nights falling exhausted into bed. Finally, the day came for their visit to Earth. Kalara was visibly excited as they boarded the royal shuttle. "I've studied your world for so long," she said, her eyes bright silver with excitement. "Now I get to experience it firsthand." The journey took 3 days, during which they caught up on much-needed rest. When they arrived, Earth's defense fleet escorted them with full honors. The sight of her home planet blue and green against the blackness of space brought tears to Olivia's eyes. They landed at the international spaceport, where a crowd had gathered to see the alien princess, and her human wife. News coverage was constant. Olivia in her dress uniform, now bearing both Earth and Xeraxian insignia. Kalara in a gown designed to honor Earth traditions while maintaining her royal status. The first person to greet them was Admiral Chen, a stern woman who had been Olivia's commanding officer. "Lieutenant Mason," the admiral said formally before breaking into a rare smile. "Or should I say royal consort, just Olivia is fine." "Admiral," Olivia replied, hugging her former commander. Chen turned to Kalara. "Your Highness, welcome to Earth." Kalara bowed slightly. "It is an honor, Admiral. Your tactical brilliance is known even in our empire." Their first stop was the White House, where Earth leaders waited to meet the princess. Kalara charmed them all, her genuine interest in Earth culture and her obvious affection for Olivia winning over even the most skeptical officials. That evening, they attended a formal dinner. Olivia's parents were there. Her mother, a renowned marine biologist, her father an astronomer. They embraced their daughter tightly, then turned to meet their alien daughter-in-law. Dr. Mason. Kalara's eyes were nervous blue as she greeted Olivia's mother. "It is an honor. I have read all your research on deep-sea ecosystems." Olivia's mother smiled warmly. "Call me Susan, dear, and this is my husband, Richard. We're so happy to finally meet you." Kalara relaxed, her eyes shifting to happy green as she realized her in-laws accepted her, despite her alien appearance. The next week was a whirlwind tour. Kalara visited Earth's great cities, natural wonders, scientific institutions. She waded into the ocean, feeling Earth's marine life with her empathic abilities. She hiked mountains, marveling at forests, so different from the silver vegetation of her home world. Everywhere they went, crowds gathered to see them, many calling them the star-crossed lovers. One afternoon they visited Olivia's childhood home, a small house near the ocean. Kalara touched everything, examining photos of young Olivia, books she had read, toys she had played with. "This is where you became you," the princess said softly. "I feel the echoes of your childhood here." Happy memories. Olivia watched her wife with love. "Who would have thought an alien princess would one day stand in my bedroom looking at my science fair trophies?" That night they sat on the beach watching the sunset. Kalara had been quiet all day. "What's wrong?" Olivia asked, taking her hand. Kalara sighed, her eyes a contemplative purple. "I have been thinking about our future, about children." "Children," Olivia repeated. They had discussed, but made no decisions. "We have time. The treatments are working. I'm likely to live at least 400 years now." "Yes," Kalara said, "but the war with the Dravik is coming. Life is uncertain. Even for our long-lived species, I don't want to wait." Olivia pulled her close. "Are you saying you'd like to start the process?" The princess nodded. "Our scientists have perfected the method. A child with both our genetic material, a true bridge between our species, half human, half Xeraxian, the first of a new kind." Olivia thought about it. A child with Kalara's silver hair, perhaps her own dark skin. Her human determination with Xeraxian empathic abilities. "Yes," she whispered against Kalara's hair. "Let's do it. Let's create a family." Kalara's skin glowed with happiness. Her eyes, the deep gold of love. "I was hoping you'd say that." Their last day on Earth, they visited the Naval Academy where Olivia had trained. She gave a lecture on Xeraxian culture while Kalara spoke about scientific cooperation between their worlds. Students flocked around them, asking questions about life among the stars as they prepared to return to Xeraxia. Olivia's parents came to see them off, take care of each other. her father said, hugging them both, and bring our grandchild to visit as soon as they're born, her mother added with a knowing smile. Kalara looked surprised. How did you mother intuition? Susan laughed. Plus, you both have that glow. The journey back to Xeraxia was peaceful. Olivia and Kalara spent hours in their cabin planning their future, talking about the child they would have, the worlds they would build together. 6 months later, news came of a major victory. The combined Earth-Xeraxian fleet had pushed back the main Dravek force. The alliance had proven stronger than anyone expected. Other species were now joining them, forming a united front against the common enemy. And 3 months after that, in a royal medical chamber on Xeraxia, Kalara gave birth to a daughter. Her skin was a lighter purple than her Xeraxian mother. Her hair, black with silver streaks. Her eyes changed colors like Kalara's, but revealed more human emotions. They named her Aurora after the Earth phenomenon and a similar light display on Xeraxia. The first child of 2 worlds, as Olivia held her daughter feeling, the tiny empathic mind already reaching out to connect with her parents. She looked at her wife, exhausted but radiant, on the medical bed. We did it, she whispered. Everything we promised. 2 worlds united. Kalara smiled, her eyes a peaceful gold. Beyond what we promised, she said. We found love across the stars I was prepared to marry for duty, but the universe gave me so much more. The Emperor arrived, his eyes bright with joy at the sight of his granddaughter. The first of a new generation, she said, holding the tiny half-human infant one that will know both worlds as home. Outside the window, the stars shone brightly. The same stars visible from Earth. The same vast universe that had brought together a human woman and an alien princess against all odds. 5 years later, Olivia stood on the observation deck of the Royal Academy, watching her daughter play with both human and Xeraxian children. The little girl moved easily between both groups, translating culturally and sometimes linguistically. Her changing eyes and slight purple skin marked her heritage, but her laugh was entirely her own. Kalara joined her wife, putting an arm around her waist. The summit is going well, she said. Many new species joining our alliance. Olivia nodded. The Dravek have been pushed back beyond the outer rim. It will be generations before they threaten anyone again. Ambassador Taylor, now elderly, approached them with a smile. Your daughter is quite the diplomat, already solving playground disputes with the wisdom of Solomon. She gets that from her mother, Olivia said, squeezing Kalara's hand from both her mothers. Kalara corrected as they watched Aurora playing beneath the stars. They knew their love had created more than just a child. It had built a bridge between worlds, a future where humans and aliens worked together, where differences were celebrated, not feared.